J. Cole once said this: "I just want to kick back, take trips, make hits, make big chips stack until they toss Kristaps." After missing a month of basketball, Kristaps Porzingis returned for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, coming off the bench for just the second time in his career, and he made his presence felt right away. A 20-point game off the bench, 3 block shots, a lot of big-time plays in this game. I want to take a look at his offensive possessions and just the problems that he prevents against the Mavericks on both ends of the floor. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you do enjoy this kind of content. Let's go ahead and dive into the film of Game 1 of the NBA Finals from Kristaps Porzingis. So over the course of the regular season, Kristaps Porzingis was the most efficient post-up player in the league and had one of the most efficient post-up seasons of all time. He averaged 1.3 points per post-up, which is absurd. Basically, he was punishing mismatches every time he had the opportunity with a smaller defender. And as we see here, it's not the traditional big man taking a smaller guy down to the block. He's getting right to this free throw line area every single time he has a mismatch and just shoots over the top of people. So here, Boston, traditional 5-out. They got the mismatch with Luka Doncic guarding KP. They want to get him a touch early. And first thing I want to focus on is, one, the space that Boston provides. And this is with KP having the basketball. You got Jaylen Brown in the corner. You got Drew Holiday up here. Derek White up there. Jason Tatum in the strong side corner. So Kristaps Porzingis really has the entire floor to work with. And you can't really bring a double. He has space to get a step back, gets fouled there. That's just Boston Celtics basketball right there, and that's what they want Kristaps Porzingis to do. Attack these mismatches, and we're going to see that a few more times in this video for sure. Speaking of, very next possession, cross-matched again. Derek Lively is guarding Derek White, which means Jaden Hardy is stuck on Kristaps Porzingis. We're going to see him get right back to that same spot, mid-post area. And once again, the space. Now you got Sam Hauser on the floor. We're going to see him fill out to his spot in the wing. You got Jaylen Brown in the corner, Jason Tatum up top, and then Derek White in the strong side corner. Just shooters all around, gives KP a lot of room to operate. Patient with it. Got the jump shot off. Maybe Hardy got hit in the face there, but no call. Just a really good job by KP, making his presence felt early on in this game. First game back too, which is what makes it really impressive. This ends up being a missed 3 from KP, but this just kind of shows the difficulty of guarding this team with Kristaps Porzingis, especially in high ball screen actions. The clip started a little early, but he just set the screen here on Josh Green, and instead of just switching straight up, they're going to, kind of blitz Tatum here. And then we see KP, he pops over to the wing. Really a wide open look. If Luka rotates up too early, you got Sam Hauser in the corner. KP gets a really good look. He just, was short on the shot. That was his first 3-point attempt of the game. This is when you could tell KP was really starting to feel it. Here he catches it up high. We got Derek Lively smothering him, all over the basketball. We're going to get this little flex screen here by Derek White. Jason Tatum's going to come off of it, dive to the basket. And it gives KP a lot of room to operate. Once we see Jason Tatum go through, he's going to fill back out to the wing, and then KP turns the corner, and we're going to see him bang out right here at the rim. He was feeling it at that point for sure. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but once again, attacking mismatches, punishing smaller defenders, and it's in the same spot on the floor, man, this little mid-post area. Still basically free throw line range. Catches right there. Josh Green, I think, actually guarded this pretty well. I can't lie, but 7-3 against 6'4". You can't really do too much about that. See Boston here get the defensive rebound. KP trailing the play. Always the most dangerous guy in these fast break situations. It's somebody trailing the play that can shoot the ball. But look at where he catches it, man. Like, he's 30 feet from the basket. This is what the difference is between him and Al Horford. Daniel Gafford is playing it like it is Al Horford. Like, Al Horford would catch it pretty much on the line. KP, his average three-point attempt is from 27 feet. This one's from 30. He takes a lot from about 29, 30 feet. And he was in rhythm. That's a long closeout for Gafford. And, that's just the big difference offensively, I would say, between having KP out there instead of Al Horford. Even though both can shoot the ball, KP spacing the floor at a different level than Al is. Another play, another post-up. We got Derrick Jones Jr. guarding KP. High post situation at the top of the key, a little farther away from the basket than we've seen previously. But Derrick Jones Jr., a longer defender, about 6'6", 6'7", provides maybe a little more of a challenge than what Josh Green and Jaden Hardy did, as we saw earlier, and even Luka Doncic. But what you got to notice is, once again, the space, and this is even with Al Horford on the floor. We know Al Horford being the guy that he is. He even feels out, is going to kind of run the baseline in a dunker spot type role. This gives JT the chance to really space the floor on this side of the floor. Then you got Derek White, Jaylen Brown on the opposite side. And it's like, if you double team, you're probably leaving a really good shooter wide open, or do you just live with the post-up touches? That's kind of the decision that Dallas has to make in this series. And they just kind of live with the post-up touches, and KP made them pay all game. It's really just methodical basketball. We're going to see once again. He notices smaller defender on him, back to Josh Green. And Derek White instantly knows, look at him the rock. And they're content with not bringing the double team. And it's tough for Dallas to do the double team thing because of the spacing. Once again, we see him catch it here. Pump fake right there. Derek Lively's kind of, in a gap position. Kyrie Irving's not really in the gap position. You got Tatum in the corner, Jaylen Brown out there. Really, if the double comes, it has to come from Derek White. And then it's really in a closeout battle, which is not something that you want to do against the Celtics. So KP knows he's going to have a one-on-one situation because they're not going to double team him. And one dribble to the left, pull-up jump shot. I mean, this first half was just absolutely masterful. We're going to get a quick ball screen action here between Jason Tatum setting the screen and Derek White as the handler. And on the opposite side of the floor, we got KP spacing the floor again about, 27-ish feet. Luka Doncic guarding him. And look just where he spaces it out even more. Like, he's, again, about 30 feet from the basket. And even though Luka gets out there, like, KP being 7'3", high release, jumps even on his jump shot for a big guy, like, he doesn't see that contest. Like, you really have to run him off of these attempts, but he's so far from the basket. And, even if he doesn't want to shoot it, we got Kyrie Irving guarding Jason Tatum, middle of the lane, post up. That could lead to a quick double team from Maxi Kleber to where Al Horford could get an open shot. Or if it happens on the opposite side, that's an easier pass for Jason Tatum. But instead, we just get a KP 30-foot bomb, and he knocks it down. This was KP's last basket of the game, and this just shows, once again, like, the challenges that he presents as a shooter, because where he shoots the ball from, he's really extended from the basket. That is a long closeout for whoever it is. And this is even a situation where it's just a, closeout battle. The defense got broke down a little bit. And still, long run out for Lively. We saw Gafford struggle in that transition three that KP hit earlier in the game. And this is really the problem that it is for Dallas, especially when he does have Lively or Gafford matched up with him. How are these guys going to be able to effectively close out and then rebound on the backside? That's going to be a problem, and we're going to see it here. Lively runs all the way out, jumps to contest it. He misses, but nobody down there to get Jason Tatum the rebound. Lively, where's he at? He's not even in the frame right here. And KP's just going to run down the lane. Nobody picks him up, and he's going to get a dunk out of it. But it all starts because of his spacing ability. And he's already hit two, so Lively's like, I got to try and affect this shot somehow. So I'm a dead sprint out there. I'm going to jump. I'm going to get completely out of position. And I'm going to pray that, P.J. Washington, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic down low can rebound over Jason Tatum, which they're not able to, because everybody's kind of focused on KP. Nobody finds Tatum. And then KP, being smart, runs down the lane, gets an easy dunk out of it. Porzingis' offense was obviously really good. The 20-plus points was great. The offensive impact was there. But I feel like defensively is where I was really impressed by him. And it's not really a surprise because he's been a really good defender all year. Potentially was all-NBA defensive candidate if he would have been healthy enough. He's been that good on this team defensively. But it's a different look than with Al Horford. We've seen a lot, especially in this playoffs. Boston will switch Al Horford really every pick and roll. They're not looking to do that as much with Porzingis. So here we see KP in a drop. Kyrie Irving as the ball handler. Derek Jones hit the screen. And that's because Jason Tatum really took the Gafford and Lively matchup this game, which I would expect to see going forward because, it's been pretty effective because they want to run a lot of high ball screens with Lively and Gafford. So, KP, we're going to probably see him guarding Derek Jones, him guarding maybe P.J. Washington. And he's going to have to do stuff like this, drop and recover on the shooters. So we see here Kyrie Irving, like I said, coming off the ball screen, Drew Holiday right there. KP does a good job, showing, cutting off Kyrie Irving. Kyrie has to, then adjust. We got Derrick Jones open above the break. But Boston, they live with those. They will live with the late contest because Derrick Jones, P.J. Washington, those guys have not shot the ball well from above the break in the postseason. So really it's a game of cat and mouse. Like, if they're going to run this drop coverage, how effective are these shooters going to be above the break? Because Boston did a really good job of taking the corner three away in game one. The rim protection is really what was just drawing. Like, you couldn't watch this game and miss how KP was protecting the rim, whether it was transition, whether it was in drop coverage. However you shake it, man, he was really guarding this rim like crazy. Doesn't get a block shot here, but really deterred that drive from P.J. Washington on the fast break. Now we got Kristaps Porzingis again in drop coverage. Gafford sets the screen on Holiday, really good screen there. Kind of forces KP to, instead of drop and recover, more of a switch situation here. And he got the block shot on Kyrie Irving, which was a big-time play there. And then we led to this Sam Hauser 3, which was pretty nice. This was the big highlight play of the game, man. Like, really here, could have been another 3, but really good defensive play by Kyrie Irving. KP being the lone guy back to stop the fast break. Josh Green gets a running start. And then just watch this amazing block shot on the fast break. Like, look, respect to Josh Green for even attempting this, but, man, that was an emphatic rejection, man. Really, I think, kept the tone set for the rest of the half for Boston, man. Something that I got to point out, though, when it comes to this drop coverage is more so for Kyrie Irving. If KP's involved in the action and he's in the drop, sometimes he has a tendency to be a little too far back, and that's going to lead to a lot of opportunities for pull-up three-pointers, pull-up mid-range shots for Kyrie Irving, which he's more than capable of making. Had a really good look there. He missed it, but those shots are going to be there in this series and could end up swinging a game for Dallas if Kyrie Irving is able to really take advantage of those looks. This was a good example of KP running the drop. Derrick White got hit with the screen by Derrick Jones Jr., and we see Kyrie Irving get cut off really great there by KP. Forces him to pass the ball. Really good pass, but KP to turn people at the rim again. Beautiful block shot. I'll let you guys see that in real time because that was a really, really big-time play. We see the show, we see the recover, we see the block shot, and then forces him to pass it out. I remember making a video when Kristaps Porzingis got traded to Boston, calling him the missing piece for the Celtics, and in Game 1, he looked just like that. In Game 1, he showed why he's the key piece for this team, both ends of the floor, and it's looking like it might be a tall task for the Dallas Mavericks to win this series.